Hey guys, what's up? Zach here. Today we are here with a brand new F1 2014 modded career mode video. You can see we're here in China for the 4th round of the season. Starting obviously in last place once again, we got Hulkenberg, Rosberg, Kobayashi just in front of us. So obviously Rosberg, a championship rival starting at the back, should be quite good for us considering we normally get through turn 1, turn 2, turn 3 quite well. So going to turn 1, which side are we going to go, outside or inside? We decided to go for the outside here. It seems to be a bit more space here, and obviously a lot of them just getting bogged up on the inside, so we're just sort of driving around the outside of them here and nearly being a bit too optimistic and nearly driving it into the gravel, trying to go side by side with Vettel here. Not really much I could do. I can't really go invisible, and if I'd braked I'd still have ended up in the side of him. So a bit of contact there with driver 2 as well, but overall a pretty decent start there, not really anything too bad. Now we're going to dive down the inside of driver 2, Chilton. Grosjean maybe, no, we're not even going to get past Chilton as driver 2 actually hits into the back of the car and makes us unsettle quite a bit through that corner there, which isn't too good. Means we can't get that power down as early as we'd wanted, and I've actually made a mistake through here, the long left-hander. A bad mistake there which isn't going to be helping us out. It means an extra car we're going to have to overtake, and it could have been easily avoided by just going a bit slower through there. So now we're going to draw in the whole queue of cars. Chilton and Grosjean look like they're going at each other there. Looks like, oh, there's Ricciardo going sideways there. It means we've had to shift down a gear, and actually Maldonado's right in the back of us once again. So there's interesting stuff happening here. It's actually Maldonado slightly taps us going into the quick left, the quick right, and we managed to get past driver 2 as he gets bogged up behind Grosjean there. And this is the corner. I don't know what it's called, I don't know what turn number it is, but I'm just absolutely terrible at this turn. Just can't get it right whatsoever, and you can see I've lost a good couple of attempts there to Grosjean in front. But somehow we've made it up to 14th position on this first lap, which is pretty good. Considering we obviously lost a couple of positions through little mistakes, not too bad whatsoever. Now braking down into the hairpin. I was a little bit sceptical where to brake on this first lap, so I didn't brake too late, but still got it turned in there. Ricciardo, I think, getting past Chilton at the hairpin, which is good. Grosjean still there in 13th as he is here, as we get down the inside of him actually on the next lap, lap number 2. Trying to go side by side with Grosjean, but not really working out for us there, so we're going to get into the slipstream and hopefully be late on the brakes into the hairpin, and we can get 3 people. Yes, we even get Ricciardo there, a little bit of contact, but overall not too bad. A pretty decent overtake there. Now moving on a little bit later on in the lap, we can see Ricciardo attacking to the outside, but we're actually going to go side by side with Hamilton here. We get a pretty decent run off the corner, so we're going to get into the slipstream with him. No, we're not. We're going to dive down the inside, and a pretty good move on Hamilton there, and edge him out over the curves, and that actually means that Ricciardo and I think Chilton will both go through. So Hamilton down to 13th position there, which is going to be good for our championship. Now Ricciardo on the attack once again, and we've got Kevin Magnussen and John-Eric Vergne in front of us here. So I think Magnussen's been quite consistent. He's already scored in 2 of the rounds so far, so he can make it a 3rd. He's definitely going to be up there near the front of the championship here. Now Ricciardo on the attack, I'm being defensive, but he somehow goes around the outside off the line where there's no grip really, and he somehow managed to get an amazing overtake, but somehow we managed to get back past once again. Button and Massa have made a mistake. Button looks like he's spun and looks like he's collected Massa, so both of them losing position, so now we're down to 8th. Now we've got Bottas, Magnussen and driver 1 all in front of us here. We're going to look to the inside of driver 1 and we're going to get that done here. Yes, we are. And now we've got to take the fight to Bottas and see if we can get past him. But you can see, skipping ahead to the next lap, we haven't really made any progress. In fact, we've actually lost time. It really hasn't been any big mistakes, but it's a lot of small mistakes that have cost us. And now that stupid little mistake there, which is very unfortunate, just getting over the curbing and making a mistake and being optimistic, trying to get onto the brakes a bit later. That really hasn't gone to plan, but you know, you make mistakes, and that's just one of the unfortunate things in this Chinese Grand Prix. Just going a little bit deep into the corners. Button now looks to the inside, but we just managed to get the power down early enough that he doesn't manage to dive it down the inside there, which is good. You can see driver 1 is just pulling away here. It's really hard to try and defend this position from Button because he is very, very fast. And I can't remember whether I mentioned it, but I've upped the AI aggression from I think 40% up to 60%. So obviously the AI a lot more aggressive here, and you can see they're going for moves a little bit more often. So that's good. Managing to fend off Button here, which is good, and having a good run through here as well, which is good. It means the Button can't really get onto the back of us here. Now we'll skip ahead a little bit, a lap or so ahead, and we can see we are now still losing a little bit time to driver 1 here. Not exactly what we wanted. We've still got a good gap to Button there. Button and Grosjean fighting out behind, which is good for them. I'm looking forward to seeing how the standings will look after this, because obviously I'm not very close to getting into the sort of top 5 really in this race, and Hamilton's outside the top 10 and so is Rosberg, so I might just sort of get into the lead of the championship here, but I'm really not too sure. We'll see at the end of this how the championship standings look. As I record this, I haven't actually done the standings, so I'm in the blue as well as you guys about what the standings are at this current time. So we're just defending from Grosjean here, who's really closed up onto the back of us. We haven't exactly had the best lap. Driver 1 just pulling away, and I'm going to get around to changing their names. I'm sorry, I've recorded a couple of episodes, you know, in advance. I've recorded the game play, but not actually the commentary, so I'm sorry about that. I will get around to actually naming them at some point, so yeah, we'll get around to that at some point. But anyway, now Grosjean, as I made a mistake, goes around the outside of us here, and we're going to try and get into the slipstream. Obviously every position is going to count in this series, so just getting this extra position will be 2 extra points for the championship. So the slipstream is working to good effect here as we go down the inside of Grosjean into the hairpin near the end of the lap. No, we don't, because he brakes late, but we just lift off the brake ever so slightly and manage to get back down the inside of Grosjean here, which is good. And Alonso has actually made his way up into the top 10 now. So when we cross the line here, it's 2 laps to go, and we've got a lot of task here to keep Grosjean and also Alonso, Hamilton, there's a button as well there behind us. It's really going to be pretty tough, especially as all these guys are really fast, and all this defending is really not too good for me, because really driver 1, Bottas are really getting away, and it's hard for me to keep up when I'm defending as well as trying to attack. So that's a bit unfortunate, but what, couple of laps to go, we've got to really just defend this position here, and just, you know, it'd be nice to finish in 7th, but it's looking unlikely. So defending 8th is much more important at this point, instead of throwing it off trying to go and catch up to Bottas and driver 1. So you can see Grosjean is all over the back of my car here. He's not letting me go. He's really pushing on here, and he's actually gapped Alonso to nearly 1.5 seconds. So this is going to be it really for 8th position. It's only 2 extra points from 8th to 9th, but he's really going to be looking for it. He wants those extra points, and obviously Grosjean hasn't exactly had the best start to the season, so he's just going to be hoping to pick up any points he possibly can here. But I'm sort of already going into championship mode, just picking up points when I can, but not really risking it. If the AI are really being aggressive, I don't want to throw away a good points haul, or just even a couple of points, just, you know, just so I can get that 1 extra position. So sometimes I'm just going to maybe accept I might not get as many points, but at the end of the day, I'm going to be in the championship hunt. Someone like Grosjean or maybe Alonso won't be, just because they haven't been consistent. And now Hamilton is back on the attack again, and Button has dropped all the way down from 12th. I think he was in 9th, actually, wasn't he, a couple of laps ago. So we got into the slipstream Alonso, which has helped us out there in comparison to Hamilton, that wasn't in the slipstream, as we got down the inside of Alonso there, which is good. Now we've just got to get on the power, accidentally being in 2nd gear through there, which wasn't too clever whatsoever. Now accelerating through the gears into the final turn, and Grosjean getting very sideways in the final turn there, which wasn't too good for him, but he actually hasn't ended up losing too much time. Actually, Bottas has been overtaken by driver 1 here, so I'm not too sure what's happening with that. Has Bottas made a mistake? Has he spun it? Has he just managed to, you know, run over the Astro or something? I'm not too sure, but we go down the inside of Grosjean. He doesn't really leave us any room. He initially left us room and then shut the door on us, so we just let him have that position. We don't want to get involved in an accident. Alonso making slight contact with us there, hitting the back end of the car, which gets us sideways ever so slightly, so the gap to Grosjean has opened up once again. Now being very late onto the brakes, just trying to get any 1/10 of a second we possibly can. I was looking for a move there if there was going to be a gap opening up, but there wasn't, unfortunately for us. So that means we've got to just keep 9th position here and not get that 8th position, as Alonso looks to the inside, cut him off at the last second. Don't want to be giving him any position here. I mean, it's only 1 point between 9th and 10th, obviously, but still, every point counts. And we've got a yellow flag out, not too sure what that was. Actually, driver 1 has lost a lot of time here. Looks like he's slid off the track, probably over the Astro, and lost lots of time. So he's only 1.8 seconds or so in front of us here. And Alonso goes for the move down the inside, but he's not going to quite get that done. So I needed to get this final couple of corners right. Now, I haven't done this corner right really at all this race, so I wanted to get this finally right. And I think I got it pretty much right here. A little bit of a mistake on the entrance to the corner, which meant that I was a little bit wrong on the exit, but overall not too bad whatsoever through that very long right-hander there. So final big long straight here, we're going to try and outbrake Grosjean. He's quite far in front, but we're very late on the brakes, quickly down the gears, very measured with our braking there, and somehow managing to get past Grosjean, who I guess wasn't putting up too much of a fight once he saw that Force India flying down the inside, but he's looking to the outside here. Final turn, we're going to leave him a little bit of space, but he's actually gone all the way over the Astro and actually lost that position there, which isn't good for him. It means Alonso ends up 9th, and we only end up about 2 seconds away from Bottas, who actually lost the position to driver 1 right at the end of that lap. So wow, what a crazy end to the race there, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and yeah, really looking forward to the next one. I think it's Spain the next next round could be wrong, but yeah, going into the European season next, obviously with Canada in the middle of there as well. But yeah, good race, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed that. There is the standings. Look at that. Bianchi gets the win. Gutierrez, Magnussen, Verne, Suttel, Driver 1, Bottas, myself, Alonso and Grosjean is your top 10. Button, Hamilton, Hulkenberg outside the top 10. Is Hulkenberg even scored this year? I don't even know. But yeah, now you'll be seeing the championship standings on your screen there. So hopefully you can go and look down that, and hopefully you can just see where everything is. I'm going to type it up after I've recorded this commentary. So yeah, that is it for this video, guys. Thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate you watching. And until next time, it's been Axel out here. Goodbye.